on before we run out of time with some other issues. It is an important issue and we have established those points. I did say I'd leave time to raise some of the points from Chris Uhlmann's package, so let's return to that. Do you agree with Laurie Ferguson, who was on this program last night, saying that the Labor Party leadership needs to do a better job of communicating your policies, particularly on asylum seekers?
I think this government has got a lot of good things to tell a story about. I think that we do need to communicate more strongly what we've done.
And why haven't you been?
Well, just answering your first question in longer than a soundbite, Leigh. In terms of what matters, this government is the first government ever in the history of Federation to develop a national disability insurance scheme. This government is fighting tooth and nail to make sure that all the schools in Australia, primary and secondary, have literally hundreds of dollars more resource for each student, so we can have more support for the schools to provide better curriculum, better resources and better choices.
Well, if you're so great, the public sure isn't seeing it.
Well, what you said is that we need to, what you were saying was that do you need to explain your story better, and I was taking up that invitation to do it on this very popular show. Why
do you think the Labor Party is on track for an historic election defeat?
Well, I do think we need to explain our case as well as we possibly can.
Well, and I come back to my question again, why haven't you been?
Well, again, all I can try and do, Leigh, is to explain it. What we need to recognise in Australia is that when you look at the rest of the modernised world, our unemployment is relatively lower than the rest of the world. We've got low interest rates, we've got a relatively low inflation, our economy's grown 13%. There is a good story to tell. Now, that doesn't mean that everyone's finding it easy. Certainly the minority parliament, because of its relatively unusual nature, has led to a lot of political argy-bargy. But when you look at the substance of what we've got done, people with disabilities are going to get the best chance in life that they've ever had a chance to have in Australia. We want to spend much-needed money to give our kids the best start in life.
But if you want to sell those policies, you have to have a front person that people are listening to, and it looks like the public is not listening to Julia Gillard. Why is the Labor Party resigned to going to the election with Julia Gillard when it's becoming clearer by the day that she's not going to win it for you?
Well, I think that one of the important features is that we do have a strong leader. Now, times have been tough in terms of, you see in the media and the news, the instability in Europe. We've got the minority parliament. There's some really tough changes which have been debated, putting a price on carbon pollution. At the same time, we've lifted superannuation legislatively from 9 to 12% over the next 7 years. What we're doing is we're saying to Australians, we want you to retire with more income. We want kids to have better schools. We're taking a long overdue overhaul of the disability system. And economically, we got through the global financial crisis in much better shape. Any Aussie who goes overseas, when they land back at Sydney or Melbourne airport, they don't want it, when they get back here, they don't think, oh my goodness, we've come to a terrible country. Most Australians, if you and I did a quick survey, would say, thank goodness we're home in Australia. This is the best country in the world.
Bill Shorten, thank you very much for your time tonight.
Thanks, Leigh. Nice to talk.